As we speak, President Trump is doing something no other person on this planet can do, and that is bring about world peace. Trump and Russia's President Putin meeting for a high-stakes summit in Alaska, which began about 2 hours ago in an effort to finally end Russia's war on Ukraine. Think about it. No one else could have brought us to this point but President Trump. And here's what the president said en route to Alaska a short time ago.
Nothing set in stone. I want certain things. I want to see a ceasefire. This is not to do with Europe. Europe's not telling me what to do. But they're going to be involved in the process, obviously, as will Zelensky. But I want to see a ceasefire rapidly. I don't know if it's going to be today, but I'm not going to be happy if it's not today. Everyone said it can't be today, but I'm just saying I want the killing to stop. I'm in this to stop the killing.
He's been saying that since this war began. According to the president, the death toll on both sides is staggering. 20,000 Russian soldiers dying this month alone. Ukraine losing 8,000 since January. Ukraine's President Zelensky, he won't be in today's meeting per Putin's request, but Trump will be speaking with him afterwards. Surprisingly, even Trump's most ardent haters saying this of the president.
If President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
But who are we really kidding? This is Hillary we're talking about. She also issued some major stipulations on what it would take for her to nominate the president for that Nobel Peace Prize.
If he could end it without putting Ukraine in a position where it had to concede its territory to the aggressor, had to, in a way, validate Putin's vision of greater Russia, but instead could really stand up to Putin to make it clear there must be a ceasefire, there will be no exchange of territory.
Oh, the irony, right? Coming from the woman who helped Russia get to this point, yeah. Think about it. She did. If not for Hillary Clinton, Adam Schiff, Barack Obama, to name a few, who the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, says were behind the Russia hoax, Trump's first term would not have been under such a constant cloud of suspicion. Trump, he would have been able to actually negotiate peace with Putin long before Putin invaded Ukraine. He didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to invade Ukraine. So as usual, Trump continues to clean up the disastrous mess the Democrats have made.
And it made it very dangerous for our country because I was unable to really deal with Russia the way we should have been. I'm looking at Pam because I hope something's going to be done about it. These people put our country at great danger. And Adam Schiff, it was all made up. It was a hoax. The Mueller report came out. They all hated me. They had 18 Trump haters. And they said I did nothing wrong. They couldn't believe, they couldn't find anything. After years of investigation, it was all a hoax.
And not only did Trump pay the price of that hoax with almost his freedom, never forget they tried to put him behind bars for the rest of his life, but our country suffered. The world became destabilized almost to the point of no return. Many analysts now describing this Putin-Trump-Alaska summit as the most pivotal U.S.-Russia summit in a generation that will not only determine the fate of Ukraine, but of our safety from nuclear war.
I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along. And if they can, it'll be great. You know, I've solved 6 wars in the last 6 months, a little more than 6 months now. And I'm very proud of it. I thought the easiest one would be this one. It's actually the most difficult. We had one war raging, as you know, for 37 years. One in the Congo with Rwanda was raging for 31 years. We solved 6 of them, made peace, not just solved them, we made peace.
For 3 years and 5 months, that's how long this has been going on. Democrats, they did nothing to stop the bloodshed, right? What's going on in Ukraine and Russia. Instead, simply, they keep throwing, that's what they were doing, throwing billions of our tax dollars at the problem, right? As we Americans suffer just to make ends meet. And while Trump continues to support Ukraine, he has made it abundantly clear that it's not being done with our money anymore.
You know, we're not putting up any money. We're making money. They're buying our weapons, and we're sending them to NATO, and NATO's sending us big, beautiful checks. But that I don't care about that. I care about, it was a big factor when Biden spent $350 billion and got nothing. But what I do care about is they lost last week 7,011 people.
Hundreds of billions of dollars. But no matter what Trump does, from ending 6 wars to now maybe 7 by the end of this program, saving hostages captured from around the world, bringing back our economy, securing our nation by deporting illegal aliens, closing up the border, and now cracking down on crime in our big blue cities, you name it, nothing Trump will ever do will cure those afflicted with the pervasive Trump derangement syndrome.
Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States.
We are watching the worst president in history.
He's a failed president.
I stress the word pathetic. Why is the president of the United States feeling so out of it or disabled? This is a common characteristic of Trump.
Donald Trump promised many things to the American people and continues to betray the American people and break promise after promise after promise.
Trump is a sick, sick man. This is the worst human that's ever been in the office, bar none.
If only they could find a vaccine for TDS. I'd invest faster in that company than, say, even Nancy Pelosi, but I digress. Soon, President Trump, he will be speaking before the world and announce what happens in that closed-door meeting with Putin. We're watching it, waiting to see what will happen here. And while some say, you know what, Trump, he shouldn't be making a deal with the so-called devil, as philosopher Edmund Burke once famously said, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And if there is anyone good who can do something to end this war, my money is on the guy whose life God saved by millimeters that fateful July 13th day.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.